As we expected, Rostermania does continue. We got some pretty big announcements in today's video as people are starting to get back home and bigger announcements are starting to unfold. Today, we're talking about the TSM Rostermania. Yesterday's video, I got a lot of people like kind of mad in the comments that I had titled it that TSM was teasing a roster change. And well, looky here, it actually seems to be happening. Let's dive into and talk about the roster updates going on in today's video and some further speculation on others as well. Like and subscribe if you obviously want to stay up to date with what's going on in the scene. And firstly, well, I wanted to make mention of this. A lot of people were like talking about this Sykes post saying, you know, he decided to stay in Japan for a bit longer while he figures some things out. Extremely thankful for all the amazing opportunities that I've been given throughout my career and the incredible people I've met while doing it. Now, notice he did say me figuring things out has nothing to do with roster moves and it's just about general life stuff. However, notice that I know he kind of tried to debunk this, but I'm still kind of itching at it. He says, you know, it's not about roster moves, and maybe he's not swapping rosters or going to this team, going to that team, or, you know, looking for a team. I kind of felt like this may be like a, hey, I don't know if I still want to do Apex anymore, because general, like making an Apex retirement post is a general life stuff. Like Apex is life when you're competing. So not competing anymore would be a general life move. So I felt like that, you know, and you also kind of follow it up by saying thanks for the amazing opportunities I've been given throughout my career. That kind of feels like a, hey, I'm reflecting on my Apex esports career. Do I want to do this, or am I going to continue with this? I don't know. Maybe totally unrelated. I just kind of got the vibe that, you know, Sykes may be considering if he still wants to compete in Apex any longer. Just my thoughts. Obviously, I could be totally wrong. And if Sykes is watching this video and I am wrong, he's probably laughing, thinking this friggin' idiot. Anyways, also wanted to make mention, confirmed roster changes. Anmu did announce he would be looking for a team in ALGS Year 5. We already knew this. Obviously, Deeds, Gent, Anmu did split up after the bad BLGS performance. And Anmu came out, well, they didn't even play horrible. They were actually getting, you know, a lot better. I wish they would have stayed together, but I get it. There was apparently some strife in the background and all that stuff. You guys probably remember those videos, but Anmu did kind of reaffirm and kind of put out there along with Deeds that they were looking for team in ALGS Year 5, mainly looking to IGL. Let me know. Obviously, he's got the vouch. He's been here in the scene for quite some time. One that I was kind of surprised about, Raven, though, did come out to say he was also looking for an org. Now, months ago, we actually confirmed and went on like the clips that Raven had saying that this was going to be his last year. We saw that then, and I thought, well, what if things do change? What if the scene changes? What if Apex gets a little bit better? Because he had said that when Apex was one of its worst lows ever. Well, he did reaffirm this despite the World Championship looking good, despite the hope, I guess, that it gave a lot of people. He reiterated that this would be his last year. He says, Year 5 is my last year in esports altogether, so I want to explore all options. I want to win massively before I go out. Nothing left on the table. Started Newcastle meta and called Rampart meta directly after Split 2 playoffs, so I'm prepared for legend bans. Thank you to Indy for the opportunity, but he has already announced that he will be moving on from the scene and will be leaving after all of this is over in Year 5. Interesting, obviously, to say the least. And speaking of interesting, we get into TSM. The official TSM account came out to say, so Rostermania. Now, you did have some people commenting that kind of made, you know, like I look at Tyler FPS. This guy's obviously got a pretty good stock right now. Tyler is one that many people have been looking at. He had all these fill-in substitute moments where he really showed himself to be proven. He showed himself to be a good asset to a team. You had roster locks after champs, so or before champs, so nobody could really pick him up. I'm interested to see where Tyler does go, and it looks like a lot of people are, you know, looking to switch regions here. So I wouldn't be surprised what TSM, you know, does, especially when you're about to see the news in this next one. Will TSM even be North America? Maybe they decide to pick up a EMEA roster. I don't know what TSM is deciding to do after this news. Firstly, and we're going in order here, it started off with Zap. Hours ago, Zap came out to say he was potentially looking for a new team. I didn't think much of this. Okay, like this is kind of big news, right? Potentially, though, makes me think, it's still on the edge. Potentially looking for a team, can play any role, and I want to be the best. DM on Discord or Twitter. He even gets the reps vouch by saying easily the most improved player this year and was put into very hard role to fill. Top 5 fragger easily and literal Thanos in fights. This guy makes any team unkillable in fights. Okay, then moments later, Reps comes out to say potentially LFT for Year 5. I'm surprised Reps is still gaming, but I'm happy for it because Reps has obviously been an OG in the scene. I'm glad he didn't retire. I was a little worried that he may retire, but he says potentially LFT for year 5 and just want to see what's out there. But maybe Reps is also looking at, hey, if I don't get a good offer, maybe I will be done. Who knows? And he says, excited to show off my versatility in year 5 with legend bands. So hopefully he obviously is sticking around for the long run. And hopefully he's still on TSM though, because he's been so branded around TSM for so long. I can't imagine TSM not going to be behind him anymore. And then here's where things get a little weird. So we also report that Verhulst, notice the verb, like the word is different though. There is no potentially. Verhulst is parting ways with the current roster of TSM, and he specifically says that he is looking for a team in year 5. Now, did he just accidentally forget to put potentially? Who knows? I mean, technically Reps is still looking for a team. I mean, you don't have to say potentially. He still could keep his options open. So Verhulst though did not use that word potentially like the other two guys, which makes me think Verhulst is out and he is looking for something different and a different opportunity. That is interesting to see. I felt like TSM was the best, like well-rounded team for the most part of the year, besides Alliance, maybe the second best, I think, well-rounded team. I mean, they played really good online split, playoffs or, Pro League. They did really good in BLGS. This team was very, very, very well-rounded. They did not, disappoint at LAN. They didn't have the greatest like show-out performances, but they didn't do bad. And I just thought the team was great. I really did. I thought the team was very good. And just kind of surprised that we would see a roster change. But then again, a lot of people, you guys know the standard. If you're not getting top 5, if you're not on at least match point, they were the first team to not be on match point in the finals in this World Championship, then normally that means roster change is upon us. And that's exactly what we're seeing with TSM. So TSM roster change seems to be confirmed at this point. 2 potentiallys and 1 non-potentially. So we'll see. And then Talmadge, of course, the coach has already said he's looking for a team as well. So the whole TSM camp is kablooming. Now, lastly, just so we wrap the video up, Waltzy has been the one that I've kept my eye on. I know that the Falcons obviously had a pretty good run, got third. Zero, obviously one of the best in the game. Hal, always been one of the best in the game as well. Waltzy's kind of been that fill-in who's came in after some other failed, like Jin Burton, obviously. We thought, generational talent didn't work out on the Falcons. Would this be another swapping event? Would Waltzy come in, and if they didn't win, would they put in somebody else? And if they didn't win, would it always be that third person being cycled through? I feel like Waltzy, though, honestly, is a great fit for the team, because I know that Waltzy and Zero have wanted a team together for quite some time, even years ago. So I'm glad. I feel like the camaraderie is there. I feel like that there's some sort of friendship or companionship there, to where it's not just absolutely degrading one another or anything. And if there is, these guys are all bros, so it's easier to accept that language, I guess, from each other. It's not some sort of tearing down, because we all know Waltzy can pick up anybody here and just body slam them or something. So the dude is built like a tank. So anyways, my point is, Waltzy did post this saying it was a good run. I don't know why. I just got, maybe it's just my clickbaiting mindset that thought, oh my gosh, is he going to quit? Is he going to move on from Falcons? That doesn't seem to be the case, though. Falcons did comment saying year 5 is ours, big man. And so it seems like the Falcons organization still behind Waltzy here. So who knows what the changes might be. But when you've got Verhulst moving, when you've got changes happening on TSM, does Hal go back to TSM, right? Hal did at one point say that he knew after he switched to Falcons, he knew he was meant to be an IGL. This has been 3 or 4 months ago. And that, it's some realization moment that he had. He felt like, okay, maybe I don't need to just be a fragger. Maybe I really do need to go back to be an IGL. Maybe this needs to switch at some point, but I don't know what point yet. Is that now the point? Who knows what Hal decides to do? Obviously, time will tell. And we will keep you up to date right here on the channel as stories do unfold. And just as I'm wrapping this video up, look at what just popped up on my Twitter timeline. Imperial Hal giving the infamous eye emoji on the Verhulst LFT post. So who knows what's going on here? Like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date with everything going inside the world of Apex Legends esports news. And until the next time, we'll see you all later.